Nice. Good morning, welcome. My name is Claire Schaefer-Olekshak. I'm the Executive Director of Sustain Dane, and thank you for joining us for the Efficiency Navigator press conference. Today we are celebrating the accomplishments of the program over the last year to address housing affordability and sustainability. We're going to hear from Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes-Conway, Fitchburg Mayor Julia Arata-Fratta, building owners Peter and Rachel Tan, and Fitchburg Alder Joe Maldonado. Also, we are here to announce that the 2026 applications for new buildings to participate in Efficiency Navigator is now open, and the application is available on the Sustain Dane website. So to start us off, I'd like to welcome Madison Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. It's great to see so many people here interested in energy efficiency and housing affordability. I want to thank all the folks that are standing behind and the folks that are going to speak. Also want to recognize Madison Alder Sean O'Brien is with us, and we do have representatives from both Congressman Pocan's office and Senator Baldwin's office, and we really appreciate their support for this work as well. The Efficiency Navigator program is, in my opinion, one of the most innovative programs in the city of Madison, which allows us to address two priorities at once: housing affordability and climate action, both of which are critical to our community's future. Energy efficiency is a very important part of housing affordability. Often when we think about affordability in housing, we think about just the sole cost, whether that's the mortgage or the rent. And we forget about all of the other bills that show up on your kitchen table, including your utility bills. And so reducing utility bills is a great way to improve the affordability of housing in our community. And low and moderate families typically pay a larger proportion of their paycheck to cover energy costs, including gas and electricity, than those with higher incomes. This strains household budgets, so anything that we can do to help save energy is going to help with housing affordability. At the same time, the energy that we use to heat and power our homes is a major contributor to climate pollution in our atmosphere. In 2022, 65% of Madison's greenhouse gas emissions, our climate pollution footprint, came from buildings. And if we're serious about climate action, we must improve the buildings that people live in. Nice to meet you, dog. For far too long, affordable rental housing has been left out of the energy efficiency programs and incentives. These are the residents that are most vulnerable to rising energy costs and price spikes. So reducing energy bills is one of the most direct ways that we can help make housing more affordable, particularly for low-income rental households. The Efficiency Navigator program tackles this challenge by providing free technical assistance and energy upgrades that save energy, reduce utility bills, and make homes warmer in the winter and cooler in summer. One of the things I love about this program is not only are we helping to save people money, we're reducing climate pollution, but we're also making homes more comfortable and more healthy. Because when we go in and make these improvements to people's apartments, we're keeping the heat in or the cool in, as whatever the season may be. We're improving their indoor air quality, and we're improving their long-term comfort and health. So this program is not that complicated. First, the rental property owner or tenants can complete a short online application to be connected with a navigator at Sustain Dane. And as you just heard, we've opened up another round, it's part of what we're announcing today, of applications so that folks can start to apply for this program now. And next, the building will receive an energy assessment to identify the improvements that will save the most energy and money. And then the navigator from Sustain Dane manages the process of completing the upgrades at no cost to the building owner. We know that home improvement projects can be daunting. I have a whole list of stuff that we haven't done because it's a lot to get it organized, whether it's in your own home or in a rental property. And having this efficiency navigator, somebody who will take you through the process and provide that support and resources, I think is a critical component of this program. We're really fortunate to have strong collaboration with property owners who care deeply about their residents and their community. Rental property owners that participate in the program agree to maintain rents at or below the fair market rates set by the Department of Housing and Urban Development to help maintain housing affordability. So in plain language, what that means is that the buildings that participate in this program get free upgrades in exchange for not raising their rents too much. So we're increasing affordability by reducing utility bills, and we're maintaining affordability by making sure that the rent doesn't go up too much. The Efficiency Navigator is now in its 5th year, and we are so proud of its accomplishments so far. Just in the last year, the program upgraded 11 multifamily buildings with 60 total units, making homes more comfortable, affordable, and healthy for 90 Madisonians, including 23 children and seniors. Across those homes, we implemented 34 energy efficiency upgrades and 19 health and safety improvements. These upgrades cut our climate pollution footprint by more than 88,000 pounds of carbon dioxide equivalents per year. That's like driving around the Earth 4 times. That is a lot of climate pollution reduction. In addition to the big numbers, each of the individual homes that participate in this program has a success story to tell. One of those is the 4-unit apartment building on Badger Road that joined the program just last year. The building was constructed in 1958, had very little insulation, older appliances, and moisture issues. After the Efficiency Navigator provided air sealing, insulation, boiler repair, Energy Star appliances, and ventilation improvements, the energy use in the building dropped by 42%. These upgrades cut utility costs for residents, made it easier for them to heat and cool their apartments, and reduced maintenance costs for the building owner. And the energy savings translated directly into lower carbon emissions. Our homes and our buildings are one of the most important places that we can take action on climate change. And that's exactly what the Efficiency Navigator program does. The application, as we mentioned, to participate in the Efficiency Navigator in 2026 is open. You just have to go to the Sustain Dane website and click the link under Efficiency Navigator. And again, it could be a multifamily owner that clicks that link and applies, or it could be a tenant who's interested. You need to apply by April 30th to be considered in the first round of 2026 funding. And demand often exceeds our available funding. In 2025, we received applications covering 396 units across 99 buildings, which is more than we can fund in a single year. If anybody wanted to help us fund this program, there's clearly demand. We do prioritize projects that achieve the greatest community impact, but the need continues to grow. And I think that's a good thing. When we started this project, there was only a few buildings, and we had to really go out and pound the pavement to get people to participate. But now the word is spreading. Now landlords have figured out that this is a great program for them, that they are saving money, that they're keeping their tenants, and because tenant turnover is an expensive thing for a landlord, and everything is more affordable and comfortable for folks. So we really do encourage affordable housing owners and residents living in apartments to apply, and to do so soon. We also encourage other communities to join us in addressing affordable housing and climate action. Cities like Middleton and Fitchburg have launched similar programs, and Wisconsin could benefit from more cities doing this work. Together, we can lower costs for residents, improve health and comfort, preserve affordable housing, and move Madison and Wisconsin closer to its climate goals. And now it's my pleasure to introduce someone who's been a strong partner not only in this work, but in many other aspects of our sustainability and affordability work here in Madison, the Mayor of Fitchburg, Julia Arata-Fratta.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Buenos días a todos. And thank you for being here today. Today we are showcasing a program that brings together some of Fitchburg's top priorities: housing affordability, sustainability, and stronger neighborhoods. In Fitchburg, housing is not just about building new units. It's about taking care of the home that we already have. Our 2019 housing plan made that clear, calling for upgrades to existing multifamily housing while maintaining affordability. Efficiency Navigator is helping us to deliver on that commitment. The program focuses on 4 healthy neighborhoods: Jamestown, Belmar, Dance Marsh, Southdale, and the North Fitchhatcher Road area, where residents often face higher unemployment and lower incomes. This is working family, seniors, children, and improving housing here directly improves their quality of life. At the same time, this program advances our sustainability plan's goals, is reducing greenhouse emission and cutting energy poverty in half. Energy efficiency helps us to do both, lower emission and lower cost. But it's also the smart use of public funding or investment. Efficiency Navigator is funded through the closure of tax incremental District 4, 5, and 15, and redirecting resources into our affordable housing fund, reinvesting directly into our community. In 2025 was our first year on the program. We focus on smaller buildings with 12 units or fewer, where residents pay their own utility, so savings go directly to them. And the impact of this was 102 residents are living in improved, affordable housing, including 29 children and seniors. 41 energy efficiency improvements and 9 health and safety upgrades were completed. The City of Fitchburg invests more than $500,000 in Phase 1, and we are open to Phase 2 that the Council already approved the funding. So the result, it was an average of energy saving of 28% for tenants on utility bills. That means that lower utility bills, more reliable heating and cooling, and healthier, more comfortable homes. This is what it looks when we align housing, sustainability, and a smart investment. The Efficiency Navigator helps us to preserve affordable housing, reduce costs for the family, improve building quality, and move forward our climate goals. So I want to say thank the Sustain Dane and Elevate for introducing us to this program, and also to the City of Fitchburg for being a champion in this effort. Thank you. And now I'm going to introduce the owner of the building, Peter and Rachel.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Peter Tan. My wife, Rachel Durfee, and I are owners of this apartment building. We are so grateful to be beneficiaries of the Efficiency Navigator Program. Representatives of Senator Tammy Baldwin and Congressman Mark Pocan, Madison's Mayor Satya Rhodes-Conway, and Fitchburg's Mayor Julia Arata-Fratta, alders and elected officials, thank you for your commitment to the Efficiency Navigator Program. Mayor Rhodes-Conway, I love your metaphor of growing a garden that you use to describe your leadership approach. That's what we are all working together today on, right? Growing and nurturing a garden, creating a community where everyone flourishes. Mayor Arata-Fratta, thanks for your commitment to an equitable and inclusive community where there is an affordable housing option for every resident in every stage of life. Thank you to Claire Schaefer-Olekshak and the Sustain Dane team for tirelessly advocating for sustainability in our community and for administering the Efficiency Navigator Program. we are so grateful to the entire team of professionals who made our project possible. Sustain Dane, Elevate, HLW Builders, who did the windows, Accurate Airtight Exteriors, who did the energy improvements to the building, and Focus on Energy. A special thanks to Frankie Fosdick of Sustain Dane, who listened well, took the time to understand our goals and preferences, and patiently walked us through every step of the process. And Ali Birini, Elevate's project manager, who skillfully coordinated the project. This has been a great experience for us. And along the way, we learned some new things about the best practices for energy efficiency and sustainability.
We have owned this building for almost 30 years and have approached it as a way to invest in our community through providing stable, affordable housing. Our goals have been, number one, to make sure that we can always pay the bills. Number two, to be a steady presence in the neighborhood by being responsible landlords. And three, to create a stable home for our tenants that is safe, comfortable, and well-maintained, while also remaining affordable. We're grateful that we've pretty much been able to do that, and we even have a tenant who's lived here for the entire time we've owned the building. Over the years, we knew that the original single-pane aluminum windows were inefficient, drafty, and collected frost in the winter. But new windows would be expensive and could drive up the cost for our tenants. The Efficiency Navigator funding was such a gift because it enabled us to install new windows that not only have functioning glides and locks, but also have efficient glass. This has vastly improved the comfort and quality of life for our tenants. In addition, the program provided funds to add insulation and air sealing in the attic and basement, which has significantly improved the energy efficiency of the building. Insulation and air sealing were not on our radar as something that we could do, and it definitely was not in our budget. It was such a relief to us to be able to provide these upgrades to our tenants and to be able to assure our tenants that because of the funding, their rents would remain affordable. We are so grateful to the Efficiency Navigator Program.
So what I love about the Efficiency Navigator Program is that it goes a long way towards achieving sustainability in the broadest sense of the word. This program addresses the triple bottom line of sustainability. Okay, people, planet, profit. Creating sustainable communities, environment, and an economy. So number one, people, sustainable communities. Since we are in this for the long term and have owned this building for almost 30 years, we appreciate that this program supports long-term, stable, and resilient housing in our communities. Dr. Martin Luther King speaks of the beloved community, where every single person is considered infinitely valuable. Our community is truly only flourishing only when each and every person, including the most vulnerable and underserved, are flourishing. Our tenants love the new windows. In fact, Rachel mentioned our tenant who's been here longer than we've owned the building for more than 30 years. The other day, she was in her living room and I was, doing something in her apartment, and she just stood there and said, "I love the view through the windows," and that just warmed my heart so much. So, second thing, planet, a sustainable environment. As owners of naturally occurring affordable housing, NOAH, or NOAH for short, right? We believe that NOAHs are a very resource-efficient way of providing affordable housing because we are working with and transforming existing housing stock. Now, the most sustainable building is one that already exists. So the beauty of this is that NOAAs are very neighborhood friendly because they are already integrated into the urban fabric. So the third thing is profit, okay, a sustainable economy. As small business owners, we appreciate that this program is about real-world sustainability, okay, supporting businesses so that they're resilient for the long term. It's a win-win, right? We are able to make the numbers work, keep the rents affordable while achieving happy tenants, occupant comfort, and energy efficiency. So, thank you, everyone, for working together for the long term to create an ecologically sustainable, resilient economy and community for all. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. My name is Joe Maldonado. I have the pleasure of serving on the Fitchburg Common Council with Mayor Julia, along with 7 other lovely colleagues. I represent the District 1, which is Northwest Fitchburg, divided by Verona Road. A large number of our community members are working class, folks that live in apartments, that are taking care of the loved ones in their lives and just kind of going through the day-to-day in this economy that's constantly seeing inflation and rising costs. I think Peter must have stole my shine when he talked about the triple bottom line. I'm actually an alumni of the Edgewood Sustainability Program, and that's something that I deeply remember, the idea of making sure that we're serving human beings, that we're protecting this rock that we're sitting on, and that the dollars make sense, especially for working class people. And that's incredibly important to me, to our council members, to our constituents. A few facts about how this program is working on the ground. In one of the neighborhoods that I represent, the Jamestown neighborhood, you see a lot of naturally occurring affordable housing. In this neighborhood alone, we've improved 4 buildings with 16 units, home to 24 residents, including 5 children. And these homes had really minimal insulation and furnaces, and they were more than 45 years old. So by doing the simple things like adding insulation, air sealing, installed dual fuel heat pumps, Energy Star refrigerators, and placing single panel windows, we are reducing our carbon footprint. We're making life a little bit easier and keeping money in folks' pockets. And we're protecting this planet that we're sitting on because, as you see, yesterday it was 70 degrees, today it's 40. So we know that climate change is a real thing, and we're doing our part as a community to be able to address it. So in closing, I just want to thank all of the folks gathering here. This is a team effort, and this is something that's truly a collaborative approach. We're using private-public partnerships. And for myself and for my colleagues on the council, this is truly a no-brainer. I want to send a special shout out to our Community and Economic Development Authority. Many of our members are here with me today. These are Fitchburg residents who help us as a council make those important decisions that support our economic development and also support the human beings here. And then lastly, I want to give a shout out to our staff. I'll give a shout out to staff at the City of Madison, as well as our wonderful staff at the City of Fitchburg, particularly our economic development staff, who really works hard every day to be in the neighborhoods, talk to our businesses, talk to our residents, and make sure that we're making decisions that really center equity in our entire community. So thank you all for gathering, and thank you for being here.
Well, thank you everyone for the amazing comments, the work you've done. It is a pleasure and an honor to work with the teams in Madison and Middleton and Fitchburg on the Efficiency Navigator. As we said at the beginning, and I want to repeat again, 2026 application is now open. Tenants and building owners are welcome to apply. Go to the Sustain Dane website under Programs, take action, Efficiency Navigator. Short form to fill out that will get you enrolled, and then you'll be followed up by our Efficiency Navigator to learn more about the building and start the process rolling. So thank you everyone. Bye.
improvements cost you had it not been for Efficiency Navigator?
It would have cost about $57,000. Yeah.
And that was just for the windows. And then on top of that, the ceiling
I think
was
the
about another
total-
20.
Yeah, another 20 for the air sealing and
So about 70,
weatherization.
right? Yeah.
Thank you. And then for the mayor, would you mind? I know our Fitchburg mayor say that around $500,000,
530,000. The
530,000
phase one, yes.
for the calendar year,
For 2025.
2025.
Come to the mic so you can get it on camera.
So thank you, I appreciate it. So 530,000 for 2025.
Yes.
So Mayor Conway, how much money has the city set aside for 2025 last year, and how much will 2026 sort of save away for that as well?
Yeah, so we've funded this program for the city of Madison from a number of different sources over the years. We started out with grant funding, and then we've blended in other sources. I'll turn to Jessica for the exact number. So from the city, we have $350,000 for the year of 2026, but it's an ongoing item in the city's budget. So it will be, it's in our cost to continue, which, unless the council makes a different decision, will continue forward year after year. I will say that we had hoped that this program would be substantially increased through a grant from the federal government, and that the current administration under President Trump has canceled that grant. It would have been a very significant increase, millions of dollars that could have helped our community. And unfortunately, the federal administration has decided to go in a different direction, which is really disappointing and I think harmful to our community. So we're going to continue to fund it at the level that we can and hopefully increase and hopefully have more communities join us, because the work this program is doing is really important. Some people might ask, it's a lot of money to invest in one building. Why is that important for the public to do? Why is that important for government to do? And I would argue that we are seeing a benefit for our entire community, not just through the reduction in climate pollution, but through the ability to have a variety of folks, families of different incomes living in our community. Our community is stronger when every type of person can live here. When baristas and firefighters and teachers and truck drivers and on and on and on can all afford to live in Madison, can afford to live in Fitchburg, can afford to live in Middleton. And this program is helping to make that possible. So in my mind, it is a worthy investment for multiple reasons. And we're certainly going to continue. I know Fitchburg will as well.
Yeah.
And we're hopeful that other communities will join us.
Any one of you two mayors know how many dwellings were improved in 2025 through this program?
Yep. I have those numbers. Just give me a moment.
Mike?
So I believe the overall numbers for 2025 is, do I just have the Madison numbers? So the Madison numbers are 396 units across 99 buildings. No, I'm sorry, that was the applications. It's one of these pages.
That's just Jamestown.
Yeah, I will be there.
Here we go. In 2025, in Madison, we upgraded 11 multifamily buildings with 60 units. That there's 90 Madisonians that live in those units, including 23 children and seniors. So that's the Madison numbers for 25. And then here's the Fitchburg.
I think this is neighborhood specific.
So I can reach out to you with the final. I don't know. My people are here. 110 units. 110
8
units.
buildings.
And 8 buildings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
One last one. This is periphery. One of your stats on the sheet that you handed out, you talked about miles saved, the vehicle miles. Can you explain what that means? I just have an idea, but could you help explain that for me?
So what we're talking about is when we make these improvements to buildings, we're reducing the amount of climate pollution that they put out into the atmosphere because of the reduction in energy usage. And in the climate world, we like to come up with metaphors for that. So because thinking about just pounds of carbon dioxide is, well, first of all, you can't see it. And it's very amorphous for people. People don't know what a pound of carbon dioxide means. So the improvements that we made in Madison cut our climate pollution footprint by more than 88,000 pounds of carbon dioxide per year. That's as if you didn't drive around the Earth 4 times. So we're saving that much energy, reducing the pollution by that much. It's pretty significant.
Now I get the metaphor.
All right, thank you very much, everybody.